Welcome to Stromboli. Stromboli is one of the Eolian islands, and this place has two stars. One is the volcano, which we're going to see, and the other one is Ingrid Bergman, who in 1949 lived in this house with Roberto Rossellini when they were filming the film called Stromboli, and lived their scandalous love affair. And this house is for sale if you want to buy this to live your own torrid love affair. So we are getting ready for a trek, and as we are traveling around the world, we don't have trekking shoes, but luckily they have rental trekking shoes in this place, so we are going to get shoes.
And we are a little bit excited because actually we wanted to do the Stromboli tour to the volcano to the top tomorrow, and today only go to the site where you can see there's an observatory, a platform where you can go on your own without a guide. But the lady from the checking agency said that today she has a special tour where they do the old route, what not all the tourists actually are taking. Because there are two students who are doing some research on the volcano, we will accompany them, of course also with some other tourists. But this is an unusual tour, 2.5 kilometers longer, and hopefully we will be able to join this group. She will inform us in around an hour, otherwise we do it tomorrow. Yeah!
We got the space for the hike today.
For the special route, and now we have to hurry because we have to buy the food and we have to buy water.
And we're going to explain you what gear you need to do this hike.
And this is what you have to take with you. So you should take an extra t-shirt, because when you arrive on the top you will be completely wet, because you start during the afternoon and will be sweaty. Then you need a hat or sun protection for your head, of course. And to go down you need a flashlight or a torch or something, because it's going to be dark, because you go down of course after sunset. Mosquito spray optional if mosquitoes love you, like me. Sunscreen, of course you put it on before you leave the hotel. Sunglasses, then long pants in the evening when you go down, it's going to be cold. And a windbreaker, because on top it can be very windy and it also can start suddenly to rain. And then food, you need a sandwich. You cannot believe how delicious this sandwich is smelling. I could eat it already now. 1.5 liters of water and some chocolate or crackers. That's it. Ready to go. So here next to the path there are capers growing here in the rocks, and from the capers you only eat actually the bud of the flower, and they are collected in May and April. And we are hiking now up to the top of the volcano. It's going to be 920 meters, and we are now already around 50 meters high above sea level, so it's going to be a 3-hour hike more or less. There's our group. We are 12 people, and 8 people are going to be students, which will join us then on the field of fire. I don't know if you can hear, but the volcano is just erupting and there's smoke coming out. It's really exciting. And the plan of this tour is actually, of all the tours, that the tours are leaving around 3 in the afternoon and reach the summit around sunset time, around 6:30, 7, depends on the time of the year when the sunset is taking place. In the beginning of the 19th century there were more than 3,000 people living here on Stromboli, and they were mainly harvesting wine, Malvesi wine, and there was this disease in the beginning of the 19th century from this parasite which killed all the wines around, or the wine grapes, the plants around the world. And today there are actually only around 400 people living here on this island. And this is also due to the fact that during the winter time there's not much to do, no tourism, and there are not a lot of wine yards again, and also the water supply is limited, because the water is brought here to the island with a ship from the mainland, and when the waves are high and the storms are strong in the winter time, they have a lack of fresh water. viewpoint is called Observatory, and it's a pizza restaurant actually, where you can come in the evening, enjoy a pizza and have a view on the field of fire and enjoy the eruption. We are now behind the point where you can go, can't go without a guide. If you go, you have to pay 500 euros. But already here it's very spectacular, so if you don't want to invest into a guided tour, it's definitely worth coming here and enjoy the views. So the route we are climbing is currently very, very steep. I'm a little bit exhausted, but it's really beautiful. It's amazing. I just asked the guide about the other route, the normal route, which is going up, and it's actually not so steep, so it's much more easy. But if you want to see beautiful things, you have to work for it. We have also reached a level where there are no plants growing anymore, and this is actually not due to the height, like in other mountains. This is due to the gases which are coming out of the volcano on the top. We are now almost on top of the Stromboli and the eruptions are happening permanently, and we are actually around 300 meters away from the crater, and there are up to 3 to 7 different craters which are erupting in a different rhythm, and the pieces can fly up to 300 meters high and far. But as the crater goes down also 100 meters, it's absolutely safe to stand here. So you see actually basically only the eruption going up 150 meters. And the sound it's very, very impressive. So when you stand here, everybody gets suddenly very quiet from our group and just adoring the spectacle. And up there you can see more groups on the top. Each group has around 20 people, and currently I would say there are like 3 groups, and we have to wait here for our slot to go up to the top, and we are one of the last ones, and that's actually pretty cool because when it's getting dark you will see the glowing magma, of course, in the dark like fireworks. So I hope we can get some spectacular pictures for you. see me, but the guide just told us we are now almost on the top, maybe 100 more meters. But when you hear and there's wind from the west, then all the smoke from the volcano, from the crater, comes over. And you cannot see anything, and you have to breathe all the smoke. So actually that's a waste of time. So don't go up when the wind is coming from the west. We have arrived to the top, and now we have a view into the crater. And there you can see actually that there are many craters. There are 3 where it's constantly steaming out and a little bit spitting as well. Let's hope for an explosion.
Bravo!
Ich bin sprachlos.
Yeehaw! Hörst du, wie das regnet? So geil. Hoppla.
So beautiful. Yeah, okay, we are done with the top of Stromboli, and we had so much luck today because there was no wind, there was no rain, there were many eruptions, and we had a great guide who let us stay up here on the top so long, so enjoyed the spectacular fireworks. And I tried also to do some pictures of the Milky Way for you, which we will attach at the end of the video.
I liked it, it's amazing. Really something you should do.
Yes, and hopefully you will have a good guide and so lucky with the weather like we are. Now we are back half down, actually at 480 meters. The last half hour was through the ash field, and now it's probably another half an hour, then we are back in town. So down, of course, much faster. Now we are back from our Stromboli hike and very exhausted. I looked on my app on the counter, so we did around 14.3 kilometers, but that includes also a little bit this morning hike in the hike in the village. It was really, really impressive, especially when you stand up there on the summit of this mountain and you look down into the crater, and there are these 3 openings and the fire is just boiling and cooking, and the guide said it's 800 to 1000 degrees and it's like this red soup splashing out. That's like in your imagination how the hell must look like in a way. And then continuously it's erupting, and the sound of the eruption from above there is so loud and so it's just crazy. It was a really impressive hike. So when you come here for 28 euros, this is a must-do spectacular. It reminded us a little bit of our hike in Lapland, where we also climbed the summit and reached the top and had this feeling like, yeah, we made it. But this was, of course, much more spectacular. Thank you very much for watching this episode from Stromboli. and following our adventures. Check out our Facebook account where we will post more pictures, and also our Instagram where we post a lot of stories today about this hike up to the volcano. Safe travels wherever you are. Good night.